Hey, how's it going, everybody? So today we're going to review the top 5 current meta decks that are being used to get to Legends. One thing that you will notice is that some of these decks seem old, so that's pretty much good news for you because you should probably have most of the cards that you need. We're going to go ahead and review the deck, see what they do, and then jump into a few matches. I do want to note that if you don't have all the cards, be sure that if you're dismantling or disenchanting cards to obviously get dust to make the cards you need, that you're careful, just because you're going to notice that sometimes you dust a card, next thing you know you need it, for example, in the current meta. So let's jump into Quest Warlock. All right, so Curse Warlock has basically been out for a while now. The gist of this is to basically play your quest as soon as possible. What you need to do is to summon or use 5 temporary cards. That way you can go ahead and get the reward. So if you look here, you want to play 5 temporary cards and you get the Underfell Rift. Well, what is that? Actually, it's pretty sick. So it's basically a rift. You throw a card in, you get 2 random fell beasts. These beasts are actually pretty insane. So for example, you can summon Fell Screamer, has Rush and Lifesteal. So off the bat, you have a Rush and you get to heal. You have Fell Raptor, which has charge and can be affected. Basically, you have a taunt with Reborn, which is insane. So the thing you want to do here is basically set up your quest and try to play temporary as fast as you possibly can so you can get the quest. You are going to use some cards to heal yourself or to kind of stun your opponent, such as a Glacial Shard. But once you have the Fell, it's going to be pretty easy to overwhelm your opponent. It's going to be pretty crazy, actually. You're going to see how fast it kind of picks up. I'll actually show you a match so you can see how this plays. Okay, so the second deck here is Pain Demon Hunter. The gist of this deck is to basically spam the field with monsters and do as much damage as possible in the soonest time possible. One thing about this deck is that if you don't take out your opponent early on, it gets incredibly difficult to maintain a hand and therefore play later games. So as you can see here, we have a lot of low mana cost cards that you're going to be using. Again, what you want to do is do the most damage possible as you can. And actually, to remedy some of these issues, I did add, I believe, 2 cards. So we have Blind Box. I just thought that being able to discover 2 random demons when you use this as an outcast would be very helpful. Just because, again, if you don't win early on, then you kind of need something to help you, right? If you can maybe get like a Kill Jaden to make your deck stronger, right? That might be very useful for you. And then I also have Hive Map. I added 1 of them just to discover a spell. You get 2 more, right? So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just do as much damage as possible. And then, of course, you can always do your Thrill Seeker to kind of damage the opponent. You might see Zealix here with a different effect. It still has the double the minion's attack, but it has the deal 3 damage to you at the end of turns, which you're supposed to combine with Thrill Seeker, but I haven't had much success. So I just changed it to summon a copy of this. So now you have 2 monsters that spam the field, and then at the start of the turn, they double the minion's attack. I feel like it's much better, but that's up to you to decide. Okay, so the next deck is Leech Death Knight. We actually had this deck before. That's kind of what I was talking about in the beginning. Sometimes you get rid of older cards, right? For example, this card here, and then you never know when you might need it, so be very careful when you are disenchanting. Anyways, this deck is very simple. What you gotta do is summon as many leeches as you possibly can to weaken your opponent and make yourself stronger. We have, most of them are pretty much older cards. There's a few new cards here and there, such as a Pterodax, which uses corpses instead of mana. That's a really good trade-off there. We also have Herald of the Flights, which you typically uses to summon your Fyrakk for very cheap, or Ysera as well. We have our Ziliac, and then our traditional Ceaseless, which you actually don't seem to see quite often. But yeah, it's basically it. Summon as many leeches as you can, and by the time that it's later game, then you can just summon your strong beast to kind of wipe your opponent out. Okay, so our next deck is Fyrakk Rogue. It kind of uses a traditional rogue system where you kind of bounce monsters to reuse them or draw cards as well. You get to trigger your combos. And the great thing about this is that I'm pretty sure most of you have 90% of this deck, maybe even more. So that's really easy to kind of create this deck. One of the newer cards is Opal Unseen, just because it has a really good effect. We also use a little or small Herald of the Flight's engine, which you combine with Fyrakk again or Ysera. We have Ashamain, which is really great. You get to use your opponent's cards on them. So if you have basically no cards in hand, you use this and bam, you're good to go. And then of course we have our Ziliax, right? For healing, for running over opponents. And then we have Shaladrasil, again, to be used after we use one of our stronger cards here. But yeah, pretty simple deck. Okay, and then our fifth and current top 5 meta deck is Beast Hunter. I actually have another video on this, so if you want to learn more about it, see some more gameplay, I'll go ahead and add that to the end screen. But Beast Hunter's simple. A lot of these are actually very simple. So what you want to do with Beast Hunter is basically spam the field, power all your beasts, and overwhelm your opponent. If played correctly, by turn 6, you should already have won. But if you haven't, then that's okay. You can still maintain basically a hand, a strong field. I think that unless you get into the very late game and you're running out of resources, you should be able to overwhelm your opponent, unless of course they overwhelm you first with their builds. But yeah, you'll be summoning your Dreambound Raptor, and then you'll just play minion after minion to give them bonuses, or you'll have a field of minions and then use a Canvassar to give them effects as well. You can also go ahead and use RC Rampage to summon your hounds and then boost them up, make them really strong. You also have Dynamancy and the City Chief, which will boost all of your beasts' attacks and health. So that's basically the gist of this deck. I'll go ahead again and leave a video tagged so that you can go ahead and watch the Beast Hunter in action. Okay, so we're playing Quest Warlock, and we're actually playing against another Warlock. More than likely, we're playing the same deck. Let's see what happens. Yep. This is going to be very interesting. We're not going to rush our coin just because we do kind of want to stall, and I'm sure they want to too. So we're both going to probably activate our quest at the same time. The mirror match. Oof, this might not go well. So let us wait. Oh, they got the biome. What I feel like I never draw the biome, but everybody gets it. Am I getting it now? Of course not. Why would I get it? It's insane. Fine. Now we get it. Okay. We need one more. Okay, so we're not bad so far. That's fine. We need what, 2 more? So I actually removed a sketch artist and added one of these just because, I don't know, sketch artist wasn't working too much for me. Oh, there you go. See, now I can't even But yeah, I can use it. I know what I'm thinking. Can't play it though. Just crazy. At least we can draw our spell. Okay, so next turn we should have our Rift. So that's great. Ooh, hopefully they get some high mana. Otherwise, no, they won't activate their quest, I think. Maybe? No. That's 2. 3. It's not over till it's over. Wow, I'm really out of like hands. And there we go. Let's throw this in there. We have charge and we have rush. Yeah, we're like, I could do this, but I'm gonna lose space. So let's just do this. And there we go. Yep, now they're gonna have their Rift. I feel like the Rift, honestly, the quest is crazy. I know that most of the quests you need to do like 5 or something to get the effect, but 5 just seems like very low. I don't know. Maybe 7 would be reasonable, but I can see why they added 5, I suppose. Come on, we were supposed to have a full match. All right, well, yeah, I think that's enough. That's pretty much it. That's how the deck runs. I'm 1 level from 100. Yay. Hopefully you liked this video. Let me know what you thought about it. This is kind of a new format for me, where I kind of get to the point. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe and check out the description box to learn more about the channel. I will see you on the next one.